Welcome everybody to what is now a weekly stream here on YouTube for my channel. I streamed a couple weeks back to back, and I decided I wanted to keep doing that. I was having fun. But we're changing up the format a bit. Probably every other stream, maybe I'll do this more than twice a month, maybe I'll do it 3 times a month and just leave the big streams for once a month. I'm not sure yet. But we're going to focus on single game playthroughs on these streams. So, I wanted to play some Demon's Crest, and so we're going to start off with some Demon's Crest. This is one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. I don't play as frequently as games like Castlevania or Mega Man or Ghouls and Ghosts or something, because it takes longer to get through. You know, it takes a good 2.5 to 3 hours to get through this game if you're trying to really press forward quickly. And then if you want to do the true final boss, it takes even longer, and if you're taking your time, it could take 4 or 5 hours if you're really slow. So, but yeah, I gotta love that squeaky chair, right? I need to like lube it up, grease it up, do whatever, because it didn't used to do that. It's just, it's old, it's rickety. But I was talking about it actually the other day on Twitch. I was streaming some Doom early in the morning, I think Monday and Tuesday this week, and people were commenting on that, and I basically told them that oops, I use what? You can apparently map the start button to random things, like attack or jump. There we go. I think that's it. But yeah, I have this chair. I got it for free a long time ago. You know, it came from my parents' garage. It's basically like whatchamacallit? It's like a kind of like a workshop chair. You know, it's really hard. The back to it always stays up, like nice and, you know, nice and straight. And I use it because I had back problems many years ago, and I was finding, you know, with my comfy computer chairs, I was slouching all the time, and even if I tried to sit up straight, I'd eventually slouch, and it didn't provide very good support in my back. But this workshop chair, as squeaky and as kind of uncomfortable as it is, it's good for my back. Basically, it kind of forces me to sit straight up. It's kind of hard to slouch in it. And if I wanted to be more comfortable, I have a cushion I use. It's one of those cushions you can get that has the tailbone area cut out, so it's support for your tailbone. And I'll use that if I want it to be comfortable. But yeah, it's super squeaky. It needs to be greased up. So Demon's Crest, it's a fun game. It's not that hard. There is some challenge to it, but once you really know how to play the game, you can get through it, you know, pretty easily. And it's got great graphics. It's got a very memorable soundtrack. It's not the energetic kind of stuff that you're probably used to from, you know, this era of action games. It's kind of one of the nice things about it. It's got a pretty different feel. I mean, despite having pretty traditional gameplay, you know, it's just a side-scrolling platformer with Mega Man style elements. I mean, it is a game by Capcom after all. The graphics and the music, it's definitely a unique experience on the system and that generation in general. So Oh, Gerald, that's right, you're Ghost. Cool, man. Oh, Dawn of Sorrow is great. That's one of my favorite. That and Order of Ecclesia, those are my favorite DS games, pretty much hands down. They're my most played DS games, and yeah, just fantastic games. I love them. I wish I was able to get a DS modded so I could stream those for you guys, but DS mods are stupid expensive. Like, really stupidly expensive. Hey, Paladin Ryan. Yeah, it is a little Metroidvania-ish. Not to the extent that, you know, actual Metroid is, but it does have a non-linear focus in that you are going to want to revisit past stages, like this first level we're at. We're going to come back here to pick up an item once we've picked up a couple of other power-ups later on in the game. So there is some non-linearity to it, which is nice. So we just picked up a, I guess an empty potion bottle. You can actually use those to get potions. You fill them up with varying different types. There's like health restores and things like that. But yeah, Kat, I have not done any of the DS games on my channel because I have no way to capture them. I would do emulation for those, but neither computer of mine is powerful enough to do DS emulation in a suitable enough manner. They're usually really choppy, they have sound glitches, they, you know, have frame rate issues, things like that, so... But if I can't ever get a DS modded, because again, they're really expensive, it's kind of hard to justify the price. If I get a computer powerful enough down the road, I'll try to emulate those at the very least, because I really want to play those. I mean, Dawn of Sorrow and Order of Ecclesia in particular, just I love those games. Absolutely love them. Oh, congrats, Tony. You got the TurboGrafx EverDrive. That's awesome. The Turbo EverDrive. Yeah, definitely a good investment for people that just want to play. Very, very good investment. Hi, Zanctum. Cat, it's exactly the same. I mean, the emulators that Nintendo put out are usually pretty solid. I honestly don't think you're going to notice a difference. So this is kind of like your main little, like, not really a hub town, but it's like the main town in the game. You can come back here and buy potions and whatever. You can get these talismans throughout the game. They give you different abilities and whatnot. There's a guy in that town on the bottom floor that will tell you what the talismans do. So if you walk into his shop, it's not really a shop, but if you walk into his home with a certain talisman equipped, then he'll tell you what it does, basically, which is pretty cool. Now I forgot I got a Crest already, and I've got the ground gargoyle from that. And the ground gargoyle can smash through objects and whatnot. His attack, his projectile attack is not good at all if it's in the air. It's super, super weak. But if you're on the ground, it does this ground attack, which is actually really powerful. And we just got another life extend. So let's try to put it in perspective. See, that's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4 hits, 5 hits, and then 1 hit. So it basically does at least 5 times the damage if you're on the ground. So you don't want to, you know, use this attack in the air if you can avoid it. If you really need to attack in the air, just switch over to the other gargoyle. Now this guy is a good challenge, and he just cornered me, so... And I'm probably gonna die. Oops. It's weird, I don't remember him normally cornering people like that. Or cornering me like that. So you do have, continues in the game. And you have to go back and redo sections over again if you die. Unfortunately. This part's actually pretty difficult. This is actually one of the more challenging bosses in the game for me. Now, you don't actually have to take this boss out right away. You can, that's one of the nice things about the game, is when you first start and you get past your first level, there's multiple areas open. You can try to go to a different area first and then come back and defeat this guy later. But we still got him, because again, that attack is really powerful. You're kind of at the mercy of like how he walks towards you. Like if he corners you, then you're pretty much dead. You have to, you know, try to change gargoyle forms and then hover over him and go over the other way. But yeah, Kat, we were talking about that on one of my videos, and I mean, like I said, I don't know if you've tried going to the advanced settings on your Wi-Fi setup on the 3DS, but I know myself personally, one of my 3DSs, I had to manually configure it, and it took a couple different tries. Your router should be fine though, so... Alright, Alright, we're going to go back here again. We're going to get what's called the Buster, which is a upgraded projectile for my main form. And it can actually bash through blocks, which is nice. Yeah, Kat, have you tried looking at, like, tutorials online, you know, doing a search about it? Because I'm sure you're not the only one that's had that problem. I'm sure if you do, like, a Google search or something, you'll find other people that had the same issue. Maybe there's solutions out there, you know, walkthroughs that you can read or something. Unfortunately, without actually being there, I can't really troubleshoot it. Although I would definitely like to help. Because, I mean, if you have a 3DS and you don't have a means to get it online, you know, you're missing out on a lot of really good downloads. I mean, there's a bunch of, like, you know, obviously the Virtual Console stuff, but then there's also some stuff by, like, Sega. You know, some of their awesome arcade ports weren't released on physical card yet. Not in North America, anyway. And so, some of those can only be downloaded. One of my favorite digital pinball games ever is actually on the DS, the 3DS. And it can only be downloaded as well. It never got a physical release. So, I mean, if you can't get it online, you're definitely missing out on some stuff for sure. Yeah, Blaster Master Zero looks pretty awesome. If I ever get a Switch, assuming it doesn't come out to like PS4 and Xbox One eventually, I wouldn't mind picking that up. It looks pretty good. I wonder how challenging it gets compared to the original game. Alright, so by defeating this boss, we get the Buster power-up. I need to play through the first two Gargoyles Quest games sometime. I've never actually finished the first one on Game Boy. I did beat the NES sequel about 20 years ago. So that'll be fun to go back to. One of the things about this game is it's not as responsive as something like, you know, Mega Man X. Like, if you try to jump and do attacks really quickly, a lot of times your attack won't come out. That's actually what's happening to me on this boss right now. So you need to take things a little bit slower in this game. Like, it's harder to play as, like, as quickly as you can in Mega Man X. Mega Man X is a really good example because it basically uses the same control setup. It's B to jump, you know, Y to attack. But the wall grabbing in this game, you know, there's like a couple of frames of where you're just like stuck, whereas in Mega Man X, it's just like you can jump off the wall instantly. It's not like that in this game. Think of it as kind of like a Mega Man style game, but a much... I don't want to say more methodical, because Mega Man is super methodical too. It's just much more brisk and responsive. Demon's Crest is a little bit slower paced in that regard. Hey, MT Shark. Yeah, I'm sold on the idea of the Switch. The thing right now is software. So, you know, due to money issues, I wasn't able to pick one up right away. But, you know, the concept was still cool though. I could have seen myself buying one on day one if I had tons of money, just because I like to have the consoles early. I like being there in the beginning and witnessing the whole life cycle from a first-hand perspective. But I wasn't able to get one, and I'm not sad about it. I'm not like, oh, I don't have a Switch. And at this point, I won't get one until it's got lots of games I want to play. And even then, like, I might not have the money for it. But I know there are a couple of games I'm definitely going to want on it. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is the big one for me. And I've never actually played through Skyrim, so like, you know, that could be something I pick up. I mean, I could just buy it on Xbox One. I have an Xbox One, so it's not like I need a Switch for something like Skyrim. I don't really play games on the go anymore, because my life doesn't have any situations where I am out that much. Like, I don't travel, you know, but maybe once a year if I'm lucky, and, you know, I don't bring stuff to work and play or anything like that. And that's it. I mean, every other moment I'm at my apartment or somewhere else that's local, where I won't be playing games. Like, if I go out, if I have to go do something, I'm not playing games when I'm out. You know, I'm out for a reason. Now, if I had a job where I had to take, like, you know, a subway to work every day or something like that, it would make a lot more sense, and I would, you know, the portable aspect would be a much bigger deal for me. So, yeah, I'll eventually get one Major Havoc. I'm sure I will. I mean, I pretty much pick up every console eventually. I didn't get a PS3 till the end of that generation, but I did eventually get one. So, you know, and I'll eventually get a PS4, and I'll eventually get a Switch for sure. So, hey, Deadly Gaming. Will's Nuts, how are you doing? Yeah, the thing about the Switch right now is, and that you bring up a good point in T-Shark, is that I already own a Wii U, and so there's really not much reason for me to get a Switch right now. Bomberman is fun, and I wouldn't mind playing one or the other two games on it, but Zelda was the big one, and I got that on Wii U, and so Mode 7. Alright, so this is a hidden shop. You can try to finish this level 3 minigame, and basically what it does is he'll give you... I'm gonna just call them heart containers, like in Zelda. I mean, that's basically what they are. I don't know what they're actually called in this game, in this universe, but... you know, for the sake of general understanding, we'll just call them heart containers. How about life containers? Because they're not really hearts in this game, come to think of it. We might have to do this one again. The timing is actually... oh, we got it. Right at the last moment. So there's 3 different levels of these bonus games. You can come here, pay a little bit of money, whack some blocks, come out with a little bit more money. They're actually kind of a waste of time. Aside from the level 3 one, because you can get the life container on the level 3 one. They're kind of a waste of time normally, outside of just being fun, because they do require a little bit of skill, some good timing. Because you can just go to the main town in the game and just bash open windows and just get money that way. You don't need to go play the mini games for money, so... I have not read Ready Player One, no. Oops. Tony, it was announced this week that Bloodstained is coming to the Switch. The Wii U version was officially canceled. So anybody that backed the Wii U version should get in contact with those guys and move your pledge over to a different platform, or I think you're qualified for a refund if you pledged over a certain amount. It's like $28 or more, I think, based on what they were saying. So, all right, we're gonna be redundant even more. We're gonna actually come back to this area. We're gonna go pick up that item. But since it's my second time through, I can just sort of rush through it a little bit faster. Hey, power user, how you doing, man? Is it still able to be backed because you want to if you can? I don't know. You would probably need to check, you know, their websites or their find their Kickstarter campaign, and they probably, you know, a lot of these guys, what they do is, you know, once the Kickstarter's wrapped up, they usually provide some other kind of post-Kickstarter donation link, you know, to like a PayPal donation or something like that. So yeah, I would look into that, and then you can donate that way. Or you can just wait, because the game's going to be for sale when it comes out. I think it's going to be $30 digitally. And there should be a physical release as well for people that are into that sort of thing. I kind of wish I did like the ultimate backing where you got like a physical copy and some extra goodies or whatever, but I didn't have that much money at the time. But I did back enough to get the digital game when it comes out, so looking forward to it. Cold in Atlantic City. Yeah, I'd imagine. It's actually chilly here too in the DC area. Ready Player One's gonna be its own barcade. Okay. See, what I should actually do is just come back here later, because there's one more secret we need to get. Actually, two more. I think there's a potion container as well as a talisman, I believe. If I remember correctly. It's been like 8 months since I did my Let's Play of this game, so I might be a little iffy on some of the secrets, but it'll come back to me. Yeah, so you can basically pick up a variety of potions here. Ginseng, is it ginseng is the best one? Yeah, restores all of your vitality. So that's the best one to have. And then by the end of the game, you'll have, you know, enough containers and money to just, you know, have a whole inventory full of them. It was 77 degrees out in Vegas today. Yeah, definitely a lot warmer than the East Coast. Or the northern parts of the East Coast. Yeah, what's great about this live streaming is we get people from just all over the place. Oh yeah, man. I want to play through Illusion of Gaia again on stream. I need to do that soon. I loved Illusion of Gaia when I was a kid. Alright. What is this play? Oh, this is the first minigame. So you spend $5 and then you probably get 20. Let's see. These bonus stages are really here, I'm guessing, to get you used to the headbutt mechanic, which you do by pressing A. So when you jump and do the headbutt in the air, there's a delay, so like you're not gonna headbutt immediately in like one frame. You're gonna fall a little bit before the headbutt actually comes out. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so you get $20 for it after spending 5. When you spend 5, you come out with, you know, an extra 20 on top. Your mom has an Illusion of Gaia shirt that used to be yours. Wow. She doesn't even know what it is. That's awesome. Alright, what do I want to do? I'm gonna go over here. Or miss it. I want to play Terra Enigma because, yeah. I definitely want to play that. Matt, yeah, it started off as the Gargoyles Quest series. It was like a side series from the Ghosts and Goblins / Ghouls and Ghosts franchise. You play as one of the main antagonists from the Ghosts and Goblins series. And they were non-linear-ish, you know, action platformers. And then the first one was on Game Boy. The second one was on NES. I think the second one might have also been on Game Boy in Japan. I don't remember off the top of my head. And then Part 3 was on the Super Nintendo. I forgot what the exact Japanese name was for this series. But it wasn't called Demon's Crest in Japan. I don't believe. We've actually made really good progress on our health bar. So that's cool. Alright, so we're going to take this the hard way. There's a boss up here, and he's pretty tough with my current level of firepower. So what you can do is you can actually go to the jungle area and get, actually not even the jungle area. You go to, it's the alternate path to this level. So right before this boss, I got to, there was like this almost like tornado looking thing in the ground, you know, or not in the ground, but on the bottom of the screen. If you fall into that, you go to Arma, which is like you're one of the main antagonists in this game. He follows you throughout the course of the game. Every time you defeat him, he drops a crest, which gives you a different form. And the form that he gives you on that level is really powerful for that type of boss in particular. So we're going to go back to this level. Hey, Beefy! Beefy, the burrito master. By the way, we're corrupting Belgium, one person at a time. We got someone from Belgium the other day into breakfast burritos. They were like, I've never heard of a breakfast burrito. We corrupted him. They corrupted me too, because then I got a breakfast burrito. See you, Gerald. Gerald. Take care, man. Alright, so coming all the way down, we're gonna get something else. Oops. I'm taking a lot of hits. Oh man, the N64 Castlevanias are great. You can wall jump your way back up, or you can just float up. But you can actually go up a lot faster by wall jumping. And there's something else up here. We got another one of our spells. Spell papers? I don't even know what you call them. Spell scrolls? I don't know. A breakfast burrito differs from a normal burrito in that it has breakfast-y ingredients in it. Sausage, egg, cheese. The egg is the big one. It must be beefy. It must be. That's right. Oh. I was hoping he'd go farther down to the ground and I could use my ground gargoyle on him. Since the attack is a lot more powerful. Bosses in this game usually aren't that difficult. You know, it's very simple patterns. Usually, you know, with the slower paced gameplay, it's not that hard to avoid them. But there are ways where you can take them out faster. Like if he gets close to the ground, you can use your ground gargoyle, where your attack is a lot more powerful. And so one of the rewarding things to boss fights in this game is just learning how to beat them faster. You know, and beating them faster oftentimes means making it more challenging in a way. Like if I wanted to use the ground gargoyle on that guy, you know, he can't hover, so that's an ability that's taken away. But there's definitely room for flexibility and some improvised, you know, gameplay on the bosses if you want to, you know, impose a greater challenge on yourself. It's not necessary at all, but it gives you the option to do things in different ways and optimize your gameplay as you see fit. Alright, that's pretty much everything for that one level, so we're gonna go ahead and... I'm not trying to rush this game like I did my Let's Play, so I'll go back to the town and grind out a little bit of money and get some potions and things like that. Ugh. Yeah, the X68000 is a really cool computer. I'd like to get one myself eventually. It's definitely on my want list for sure. It's actually pretty high up on that list, but it's also expensive, so I'm not going to be able to afford one anytime soon. I wish I could. Yeah, don't buy Legends unless you're trying to go for a complete Castlevania collection. Like, seriously, Legends is not really a very good game at all. It's super boring. Super, super boring. Anybody that's thinking about buying that game just to play it, you're out of your mind. You're absolutely crazy. So, no offense, just buy a flash cart. But yeah, Legends is it's rare. It's rare and it's not good. It's very, very mediocre. I mean, it's not to say there isn't any enjoyment to be had, but there's not $150 plus of enjoyment to be had. That's for sure. Yeah, I can understand trying to get, you know, other random Castlevanias because they're cheaper, but if you're going for stuff like Legends, like, you better be collecting hardcore, otherwise don't even bother. It's just, it's just not worth the money. Oh, I understand, Tony. I've owned Legends multiple times now. Going for a complete cast. I've had, you know, close to complete Castlevania collections like 2 or 3 times now. I've done it multiple times. The idea is to get the Castlevania games and not sell them, but then like financial stress hits and then I sell them. And so, no, I totally understand. Which is why, I mean, for people like you, it's one thing, but for people that just want to play it, like, stay far, far away from it, or buy a flash cart. You know, if you just want to play it, don't drop 100 plus on a game that is mediocre at best. So, yeah, Cat, definitely get Order of Ecclesia. It's not expensive. I mean, I think you could still get brand new copies for like 20 or 30 bucks. So, $65 maybe if you're doing cartridge only, but $150 plus if you want complete in box. So, alright, so we're gonna actually, we're gonna tank a little bit here. I think I did this in my Let's Play, but we're gonna go ahead and just do it again anyway. And, I think the crown is the one you use for money, not for, yeah, oh well. Let's get up top here. Yeah, so there's that potion there. I'm gonna go ahead and just use this. I mean, if you really have to have the real thing, I mean, you can always try to get the Japanese version too. I mean, it's the exact same game. You don't need to necessarily have the North American one. You know, original Game Boy games are region-free. I'm pretty sure the Japanese version is considerably cheaper. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing again, but come down this way. Just walk right through here. And we're going to have to use the potion again. I don't think I actually had to use the potion. I think it actually stores the items you got, or counts the items you got, even if you get a game over. I want to say that's how it works, so... The Japanese version is 65 and up as well. I bet you it's not if you buy it actually from Japan. On a site like Rinkia, Yahoo Auctions Japan. I bet you it's actually really cheap over there. I'll have to check on that sometime. Bergier, I don't know if that's how I pronounce your name, but yeah, no, I'm the exact same way. I've got much more important things to spend money on than constantly drop them on video games over and over. Now, if my salary was like double what it is, which in my field, you know, it's definitely a possibility it could eventually get there, but I don't have the money to spend on, you know, video games. Really, even period. Even like $5 or $10 games, I don't even buy anymore. And so I'm actually really glad I went the flashcart route, because even when I had flashcarts, I was still spending money on video games. I was still buying, you know, random carts and stuff like that, or disc-based games. But now that things have gotten so tight, I have the flashcarts, I can't spend any money on games, but I can still play them. And I can still stream for you guys, and I can still do YouTube and stuff like that. And I can still enjoy the games in my own time, which is great. So... But it does surprise me that there's people, and it seems to be really common, it does surprise me that there's a lot of people out there that they don't really consider themselves collectors. They're mainly just players, but they still want to buy the real carts even when they're expensive. And it just seems to me like just like a waste of money. But why am I back here again? I'm back here because I wanted to earn some money. Holy crap, man. This is... Okay! I am not paying attention. So... You know, realistically, I could just kill myself, but... Alright, we're gonna do just that. That'll be faster than playing through the rest of the level. But on the flip side, Tony, how often are you going to want to play that game that's going to cost you $100+? I mean, if it's something that, like, you know you're going to play, like, really frequently, then okay. I mean, I bought a lot of games that are really expensive. But I played the hell out of them. You know, I got my money's worth, I feel. So, like, there's a point where, like, you're actually, and you might not actually, like, realize that you're actually buying to collect and not to play. Like, you're dropping that $100 on a game you might play once every 2 years. Like, is that worth the money? Looks nice on the shelf, I guess. I don't know. If it makes you happy, though, then do it. That's what I tell people. In the end, if it makes you happy, then, you know, I can't gauge your happiness. I'm not you. So if you feel like you're really getting some kind of value out of it, be it actual, you know, gameplay enjoyment, or it just somehow makes you happy, then by all means go for it. So alright, how do I want to handle this level? There's quite a few secrets in this level, too. Alternate paths and items and things like that. That's not good. Ah. Also, a big mistake I made is to collect games just because they were good and then never played them. Yeah, I mean, what I recommend people do, and this is a tool that's been around for a long, long time. This is what we did back in the day. It was emulate to figure out what you know you'll actually play, and then buy those games. You know, if you really want to buy the actual carts, use emulation to try before you buy, basically. So you're not, you know, spending money on games that are just ultimately going to sit on a shelf and never get used. That's if you're in it just for, you know, for the gameplay. And you have to actually have the real cartridge, like if you're one of those types. That way you're not taking chances on games that you might end up not enjoying, or they're just gonna sit. Yeah, I suppose that's one great thing about, like, modern music distribution, is that try before you buy is like the standard now. Like, when I buy something on Amazon Music, I don't usually buy it immediately unless it's like from a band like I really, really like, that I've been listening to for decades or something, you know. I listen to, like, the preview clips and I'm like, no, it's not my sort of thing, and then I choose not to buy it. But you can use emulation in the same way, you know. Try that game, see if it's your cup of tea. Or you can just watch YouTube videos. YouTube videos are another great source. Because, you know, you get to see and hear the game. But you don't get to play it, though. And playing it is a part of it. You need to know what those controls are like. There's some games that look great, and then you play them, and you're like, ooh, these controls are really awful. And it really hurts the experience more than, you know, you would probably expect. So, there's a lot of different ways to do classic video gaming and collecting, and a lot of different ways to go about it. Some people buy flashcards, and they try before they buy on the actual hardware, kind of like using emulation to try before they buy. And then they only buy the games they really, really like. Like, they might finish a game on the flashcard, but it wasn't, like, memorable enough for them to warrant paying for it, you know? We are dead! Ugh. What is your type of music, Austin? I mean, I listen to a lot of different genres, but I typically like, you know, stuff that's kind of like edgy and melodic at the same time. You know, rock, various types of rock, metal, electronic music, anywhere from house to techno to trance. Well, not really as much techno, but like breakbeats, trance, progressive house, a little bit of drum and bass. Let's see. Do 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 do. Oh man. I rarely just ever buy an album unheard just because it's the new album by whoever. If the emulations are amazing, then I might just go buy it. Only the ones I love to bits. Right on. I beat Double Dragon 3 on Mega Drive. Nope, not ever buying that. Yeah, I don't blame you. Okay, so I just realized that the game actually allows you to continue from whatever door you last went through, so you can actually go through that door and basically use it as a checkpoint. This is actually good that we got to that boss first, because there's a power-up up here. Guns N' Roses for life. Hey man, I love Appetite for Destruction. Like, that's such a good album. I love it. Am I a DJ? I did mix on turntables for a little bit as a hobby. I started in 2006, and then I kind of started waning off of it around 2011 as I started focusing more on YouTube, and then I got into pinball. Pinball was the big one that kept me from mixing on my turntables. Up the irons. Iron Maiden, yep. I like Iron Maiden. I haven't really checked out any of their new albums. I think the last Iron Maiden album I have is Brave New World from 2001. So, yeah. But I have a good chunk of their albums from before that. Iron Maiden is one of those bands where, like, there's so much old material, and so much of it sounds so similar that, like, I haven't felt motivated to look into any of their new stuff. I'm like, well, I've got 20 years worth of good, fast, you know, melodic metal, energetic and melodic metal. Like, I don't need to look into their new stuff. I probably should. Yeah, guys, the visuals in this game are really, really nice. I mean, it's got that signature Capcom style from back then. Oi, dude. Well, maybe I will check out the new Maiden. Major Havoc sat out at midnight at a music store to buy the Metallica Black album. Nice. That's awesome. Alright, where do I get... It's not that one. not down here. Yeah, it has opened up, but like, this isn't... I'm trying to think, where do I fight that guy again to get the crest, for the, like the merman crest. The water gargoyle crest. It's not this, because that gives you the... No. It's either the legendary or the ultimate crest. I'm gonna do this anyway. Why not? Book of Souls. When did that come out? The Iron Maiden album. Yeah, I'll admit, I don't actually keep up with music as much as I used to. But if I do discover something I like, I will go buy it and listen the hell out of it, but I'm not actively looking for music like I used to. Like, it used to be something that was completely normal for me to do, on a weekly basis even. You know, we used to have Tower Records here, and I used to go out there at least once a week and, you know, use their listening stations and walk out with a music CD or two every time I went there, but it doesn't happen anymore. Well, for one, Tower Records is no longer in existence in my area. But two, it's just not something I do anymore. I don't go looking for music online either. So... Okay, so that album is from 2015. Okay. Well, I'll have to look into it, guys. Thanks for the heads up. I bet you a bunch of people here watch Game Center CX. I don't actually watch it, but I know a bunch of people that do. Oops. Alright, so what I want to actually do is skip this bottom area completely. Well, I do want to get this. I think this might be a power-up. Yep. Oops! Oh, I'm an idiot. I would need to do that on the first screen. Alright. Yeah, I think there might actually be a, you know, a Tower Records still. There might be a couple out there, but for the most part, I think the whole chain, most of the chain went down. Went under. Yeah, so I'm pretty much screwed at this part now. But you can always go to exit and pick a different stage, so we might have to do that, because this boss is really tough without having the right firepower. I thought my entrance to the alternate path on this level was up top here, but it's on the first half. It's not on the second. We're in the second half right now, so... Yeah, three-headed monkey, I think you're right. I think there might also be one in New York City. He backed into me! And I died instantly. Alright, we're gonna go straight up. And then just fly straight over. I still need to play the... You guys are gonna shoot me for this, but I still need to play the PS2 God of Wars. I actually tried playing the first one sometime last year on stream, but it kept freezing on my PS2. I couldn't get past the first level because it kept locking up. I was like... And the disc is fine, too, so... I don't know if it's my PS2. I did play the first one on PSP and really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I actually finished that game multiple times. Cat, I like Dream Theater, actually. They were one of the first, you know, rock and metal bands I really listened to, thanks to my dad. He introduced me to them at a young age, and, but I'm very partial to, well, I should say, like, I'm very particular about their albums, like, Dream Theater does such a wide variety of, rock and metal that their albums are all over the place. And, but I do still listen to them, yeah. Mostly their old stuff. I haven't, like, I bought one of their new albums, but, or their latest album, and that was a mistake. Because it was, like, a concept album, and it was not what I was expecting. And I really wish I didn't buy it. But yeah, Tool, it would be nice if, you know, they put out stuff every now and then, but I know how Maynard works. You'll see a Perfect Circle album before you'll see another Tool album, most likely. And I like Perfect Circle a lot as well. I would love to see another album by them. And then I do follow his Pucifer stuff. I do like his Pucifer stuff. I have a few of those albums. Money Shot from a couple years ago is actually... I enjoyed it a lot. A little moody, a little depressing sounding, honestly. But it's... I really enjoyed it. So... my favorite Dream Theater album is the one that a lot of people don't like, and it's Falling Into Infinity from, I guess what, it was 97 or 98. And I actually listen to that album. I go on stints every year listening to that album. My most recent one being probably in October and November this past year. Explosive Notes, I think it has to do with the idea that, you know, pixelated humans still look, they don't look very photogenic, you know, unless they're clearly trying to be digitized. You know, when they're just hand-drawn by some pixel artist dude, like, you can tell they're fake, like real, like... Modern polygons try to replicate the look of, like, real humans. They try to get them looking as realistic as possible. And that, to me, it's impressive, but it doesn't suck me into the experience. You know, it really almost doesn't show, like, the, show off the artistic ability of the modeler or something like that. You know, they're just trying to get them to, you know, look as realistic as possible. That probably didn't make any damn sense, but I love looking at 2D sprites, and it's not that, like, I don't like polygons. I love polygons, but I prefer something that looks less realistic. Or if it's gonna try to look quote-unquote realistic, it still has to be, like, fictitious for me to care about it. I want to see, like, monsters and demons and things like that in 3D, not humans. I don't really care what a soldier, you know, a modern-day military soldier looks like in 3D. It just... I don't care. I can go turn on TV and look at a soldier, or go down the street and probably actually shake the hand of a real soldier. Like, that would be more fun than, you know... staring at a video game full of them. I don't know, it's more of an artistic preference for me. It feels like there's more actual art. I don't even know how. I don't even know how to say it. I'm trying to play this game at the same time and think. But I mean, a good example is like when you look at like Flashback, right? Or Out of This World from back in the day. Like I still love like those sprites. I mean, they were clearly trying to go for really real animation, but you can still tell the character's totally fake. It's still a few pixels on screen that somebody had to go in and plot and draw out. It's... The Uncanny Valley, that's right, Cat. Alright, I think I actually need to go back. I think I missed something. Hey, Stocklock. I didn't see you out there, man. Alright, so we're going to actually go back up right to where we were, because I think I missed a couple items. Bergier, that animation style went away, because 3D came in and took over. But also it seemed like that animation style was very... As the tech got better, it took even more effort to do animation like that. Like, if you look at Heart of Darkness, you know, it was helmed by the same guy that helmed Out of This World. And it was delayed and delayed and delayed. It just took so much time and effort to make that game happen. And it looks amazing. But... that's what happened. I think it was way too time consuming to be viable. To be viable on a regular basis. Cat, I have one cat, personally. I mean, I still consider the cats at my parents' house kind of my cats, too. So my cat, her name's Patchouli. And, she's that calico you guys have seen on a couple of my videos, like the AVS addendum and my game room and game room tour and stuff like that. My mom has a Balinese, beautiful cat, and her name is Pumpkin. And, then we have where she has a big, fat, beautiful Maine Coon named Snickers. Yeah, if anybody has seen my Twitch streams, you've probably seen Patchouli at some point in time or another. You want a Sphinx? I feel like having a Sphinx would be weird, because they don't have any hair. My cat lost a little bit of her hair when she had a run-in with the fleas. I can't see. There we go. There it is. Okay, that's what we needed. That's what I came back for. But yeah, she lost some of her hair with a bout with the fleas. And it was weird. So I can't imagine having a cat where they have no hair at all. Stocklock says he would settle with a lynx, but he'll probably get his face ripped off. Yeah, lynxes are really cool looking cats, but they're so big that, and they're wild, so I don't know if you'd even be able to tame them. Ugh. Alright, so basically what we're going to do is get back to that boss, completely destroy him, and... I forgot these guys scream at you. Oh, he didn't scream. He has a cat named Pouncer. She's the spawn of the devil. Hey, see ya, MT Shark. Take care, man. Yeah, Atari Lynx. Okay, you get the water crest from the other guy in the actual water place. That's what's going on. Alright, let's come back, get some more potions. How much money do we have? 83, that's it! We need to grind out. Sorry, guys. Hey, Miku. Ah, see ya, three-headed monkey. Take care, man. Yeah, just a reminder, guys, that I'm going to be here every Thursday, streaming on YouTube. Some of the streams will be just single game streams like this, and then once we finish up with the game, then we are done with the stream. Other streams are going to be full, long streams with a bunch of different games like you guys are accustomed to. But if you ever want to catch me stream, it's Thursday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oops. Yeah, so this guy will tell you what your talismans do. So the talisman I'm equipped with right now is the glove, and it allows you to shoot an extra projectile. So normally I would not be able to shoot 2 bullets out at once. see, just like that. This is the talisman called Hand. Wow, it's not even glove, it's just Hand. It'll enable you to use your magic more quickly. Magic being your main attack power. Now, what I should be doing when I grind is actually use the crown, because I'm pretty sure the crown is the one that gives you more money. This is the talisman called Crown. It will allow you to collect money more easily. Yeah. So money is more likely to appear when you headbutt things, and it might have an effect on enemies that you kill too. So we're actually making pretty good progress through the game. We only have a handful of more stages, and then we're pretty much done with the game. Now, if I manage to get every item, what I'll do is I'll punch in a password at the end that'll take us to the you know, the true final boss as well. So we'll get to do everything in the same playthrough. $410. That's good. Ooh, there's one more. One more! Oh, it was nothing. Ugh. Go for that ginseng. And... sure, why not? I'm feeling good, Miku. Thank you. How are you feeling? Really, Major Havoc? It's interesting, man. You should try to revisit it if you can. It's actually not a very difficult game. It's just... it takes a little while to get used to the mechanics, the headbutt in particular. It's just timing. But it's a lot of fun. It's not that long either. You know, you can beat it in a single sitting, you know, if you're decent at it. Or you can just grab a password, you know, play level, grab a password, come back later. You should get it, Stocklock, if it's available. Alright guys, I'm going to take a quick break. I'm going to use the restroom, and I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right. So we're going to go underwater, sort of. Actually, we're not going to go underwater first. We're going to remain above water. Hey, Ronnie. The flappening. Super Star Wars is a hard game. I totally agree. I totally agree. Nice, Deadly. I made some pizza today as well. And I ate a little bit before I started my stream. And by a little bit, I mean a lot. Does the turbo EverDrive seem really thick to me? Not sure what you mean by that, Tony. You mean like maybe thicker than a regular Hue card? Like, is yours, is it hard to insert it into the cartridge slot on your system? I've never had any issues with mine. I mean, it feels normal to me. I think. Yeah, Ronnie, at that price, I don't think he's still going to have it by the time payday hits. Stuff like that, if it's Craigslist or other for sale sites, it'll be gone quickly. Yeah, no, Tony, I do have a turbo EverDrive. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, maybe it is thicker, maybe it's not. You know, as long as it reads and doesn't get stuck, that's really all that matters. But yeah, no, I do have one. I need to load up some more games to it, though. Kevin says Lord of the Rings for Super Nintendo is confusing. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, okay, so you get your title gargoyle from that guy, which is weird because every other crest you get is from fighting Arma. So that's weird. Oops. The Super Graphics games work with it if you have a Super Graphics. If you don't have a Super Graphics, then no, they won't work. Yeah, you're right, Stocklock. I need to look into his ROM packs, definitely. When I got my flashcards, I don't think guys had like such complete ROM packs like that back then. Like I got my EverDrive back in my Turbo EverDrive in like 2012. I got my Genesis EverDrive in like 2010 or 2011. Like, right as they were first available. And, so basically back then, I basically just, you know, picked and choose the games I wanted. I would just download them individually or get a generic, like, all-in-one ROM pack from a random website like MU Paradise or something. And then, I would go through the whole list and pick and choose and then, you know, drag those over to the flash cart. Oh yeah, no. Yep, the Mega Drive has built-in backwards compatibility with the Master System. The only thing holding it back was the cartridge slot. Which is why they had to build a the power-based converter for the Mega Drive back in the day in order to get those games, you know, playable on it. Yeah, the Genesis will actually read the ROMs just out of the box if you have something like a flash cart. So it's nice. Oh, nice, Major Havoc. No, you're always say hello if you can. You know, that's one of the fun things about streaming, is talking to you guys, regardless whether I'm, you know, in the zone or not. Tony, yes, Genesis flash carts will read Master System. Well, you can put Master System ROMs on them, and they will work. I guess that's the answer I would give. Now, just like with the power-based converter, if you're like me and you have a 32X, you still have to take the 32X out. In order to have those games work on your Genesis. So if you're using a flash card and you have a 32X, you still have to take the 32X out if you want to play Master System games. I think the reason is that I think the 32X doesn't have the proper pinouts in the cartridge slot that enables the Master System pass-through or whatever. Which is why they don't work, and which is why the power-based converter doesn't work. I think that's the reason. Dude, EverDrives are great values to begin with. They're well-built products. You know, the games load quickly. You know, they have support. I think pretty much every model nowadays has default support for, like, saving in-game saves and stuff like that. The higher models have actual save states, kind of like emulators do. But your mid-range models will have, you know, battery backup, just like the original carts did, if they supported it. You know, they're a great value for the money if you just want to play games. But some actually have more use than others. Like the Genesis EverDrives allow you to play, you know, Master System ROMs, and if you have a 32X, they support 32X ROMs too. There we go. You can actually like shoot your projectile, like just skim the edge of these reefs. And the hitboxes are big enough to where, like, it'll still hit the enemies. That's the easier way to deal with those guys. Who needs save states on a console? People that are lazy and don't want passwords. Or speedrunners that are practicing games. Like, when I practice speedrunning Ninja Gaiden, I use the save state at the final boss, and because the final boss is one of the hardest parts of speedrunning Ninja Gaiden, you have to use a very specific technique that's really only good for the final boss, and if you can't pull that technique off, you're losing significant time. Also, games like Battletoads, you know, you can use save states to learn the game, and then try to go through the game normally without them. Save states are great. I don't personally find satisfaction in using save states just to get through a game and then never play it again. That's not fun to me. But I will use save states as a tool to improve my game for when I play through the game straight without save states. But I also use save states now, like, because, you know, like, I have save states on my NES Power Pack. I think I got everything there. I don't think there's anything else. I use save states on my NES Power Pack, if I'm going to walk away from the game, or if I need to turn it off, I'll use a save state. Like, when I was practicing for Adventure Island 2, I got halfway through the game, used a save state, turned the system off, came back to it a week later, and just started back up where I left off, instead of having to play up to that point again. So it allowed me to practice the later stages without having to go through the first half of the game again. So they're definitely a useful tool, for sure. So, you know, if people want to abuse them, then, you know, I guess whatever. But they definitely complement my current lifestyle right now, which is nice. It's not like it was 30 years ago when I'd have to leave like the console on overnight, or like if I had to do that now, I'd have to leave the console on for like a week straight. So, stock lock, my AVS, the USB port snapped off. And so it's currently at Retro USB right now. I got an email the other day saying it was being worked on. So hopefully it won't be too much longer until I get it back, because I want to play some more NES games. Yeah, I hope they fix it in future consoles too, because it's a really, really poor design choice. Like, other manufacturers of more mainstream products have done the exact same thing, but even they have more, more reinforcement than the AVS does. Like, the AVS's USB port, it was soldered on with like 3 pins, and that's it, whereas my original Elgato Game Capture HD, it was like 6 or 8 pins or something like that. So even, you know, having more of those solder points helped keep it in place, but even it broke. But the AVS's was even worse, and that's really the only point of contention I have with that console, is that USB port. And there were reports of them breaking before mine ever even did, and they were, you know, it was a point of concern in several of the reviews as well that actually tore down the system and showed you the insides of it. So when I get it, I'm going to crack it open and see if it's any different, see if they just gave me a replacement board with nothing changed, or if, like, you know, they resoldered the old port back on, or, you know, or if they gave me a new board with a new piece that, like, reinforces the USB port. I don't know, we'll see. Kevin Miller, for using save states on a RPG like Final Fantasy. I actually do that, or did it, about 2 months ago. I was playing through the first Final Fantasy on NES again on Twitch, and I would basically use save states, because with how the Power Pack deals with save file management, it's just easier to use save states. So I would save my progress in-game, but I would also, you know, make a quick save state just to make sure that my save file was actually, you know, processed fully and whatnot. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need? I think we're pretty much at the end of the game now. I think I've got everything. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just come here and... Am I going to do an unboxing of it again? No, I won't. There is the possibility I might do an updated video. You know, do like a second addendum video talking about my experience with, you know, the port breaking and sending it in and stuff like that. Just to give people a heads up. But I wouldn't let it deter you from buying the system. It's a nice system. It's a good system, for sure. And if you get it, be careful with that USB port, you know. Alright. Are the last 3 life containers in this level, or am I missing? Oh! No, I'm totally missing. Alright, we're gonna have to kill ourselves, actually, and exit the stage. I totally forgot. I didn't go to the underwater portion of the jungle stage. I totally forgot. See, the plan was to go get the water gargoyle, and then use that for the underwater portions of the jungle stage. Normally, I just do the whole jungle stage completely. So what I'm going to do is actually kill myself once I get towards the end. And then that'll allow me to just exit out. But I'm going to pick up these items. There's another talisman as well. There it is. Alright, so I think that's actually, let's see, does this bell give me another one? Deadly Gaming, I did the same thing, but even when you move the system, there is so little support on the AVS's USB plug that even if you leave the cable connected, just the slight tension from it hanging down up or hanging up or down just from the natural USB cable itself, you know, pulling on it slightly, over time that's gonna wear it out too. It's that unsupported. Like, if you crack open the system and look at it, you'll realize very quickly that it's a really poor design. But yeah, I do the exact same thing. Yeah, I have a power adapter that comes off on the end of the USB, at the end of the USB cable. They are not cheaper now. They're still like, I think like 180 or 190 bucks, and then plus shipping. And I don't think they've been redesigned. I do know that there is, supposedly they 3D printed some, like support brackets for the USB port. I don't think there was an actual redesign done of the main board itself, though. So, but like I said, we'll find out when I get my system back. The first thing I'm going to do is crack it open and take a look at it. Oh, dude, that's actually a good idea. Hot gluing it down, not a bad idea at all. You should totally get one, Tony. So basically, this next room to the right is the final boss, and I don't want to go there yet. Because you want to have everything when you get to the final boss. Otherwise, you're not going to get the password at the end to get to the true final boss afterwards. So, alright, so we need to go back to the jungle place. Well, yeah, Deadly, if you've never moved yours, that's one thing. You know, me, I have to constantly switch it between rooms because of different streaming and recording setups and things like that. You know, there may or may not have been one or two times where it fell off a table. If you know what I mean. So, but if it was any other console, it wouldn't have been a problem, you know, but... Welcome to the jungle! Yeah, we got fun and games. Yeah, I totally hear you, Deadly Groove. I'm there with you, man. I had that worry for a long time, and then it happened. And I was like, wow. The indestructible GameCube. But Groove, that's a really good idea with the hot glue. I might want to try that when I get mine back. I need to get a hot glue gun anyway. Thanks, Miku. I love your text. Your text looks great. Alright, so this should be a life upgrade. And then this boss is going to give us a life upgrade too, and then we're pretty much maxed out on everything. So the reason I wanted to come here second is because in my Let's Play I just tanked my way to those power-ups. Whereas this time I wanted to do it with the water gargoyle. Tony, I am. I'm using RGB SCART with the Framemeister. Alright, back to town. We're gonna max out on ginsengs. No, they're not, Tony, actually. I actually only have one system that's RGB modded, and that's my PC Engine Duo. One of my viewers offered to mod it for me. And, but a lot of consoles do RGB out by default, actually, out of the box. So Super Nintendo, Sega Saturn, Neo Geo, Sega Genesis, Mega Drive. several other systems I'm not naming. But there's actually more retro consoles out there that do RGB out of the box than you would probably think. So, you know, lots of the main systems, you don't even need the RGB mod, you just buy the cable. But then, like, newer systems, like, you know, PlayStation, I mean, PlayStation 1, I think, actually does RGB. You can get RGB cables for PS1 and PS2. But they look perfectly fine with S-Video, you know. I found that RGB for, like, 3D stuff isn't necessary in some regards, especially for something like Saturn that uses, lots of, like, mesh texturing and stuff like that, to where it doesn't have transparency, and when you upscale that, it actually looks kind of awful. So, you know, sticking with something like S-Video is fine for something like Saturn. GameCube and N64 look pretty good with S-Video as well, upscaled. So I just do S-Video for systems like that. I do S-Video for my 3DO. 3DO is one of those consoles you would have to mod for RGB, and from what I understand, the mod is like stupid hard. I think there is a mod for 3DO. Thanks, Zanctum. I appreciate it. Yeah, the Super Nintendo does RGB out of the box. You just have to get the RGB cable and then have an upscaler if you want it to look like this. And believe it or not, the Super Nintendo's RGB is not the best RGB. At least not on my model Super Nintendo. There's a couple different models of hardware. You'll get varying levels of RGB quality. Let's go get some spells, just for fun. Let's see. Sorry, the magic guy is not in this town. Are there any really great 3DO games? It really depends on your tastes. I mean, the 3DO is an interesting platformer. It's a really interesting platform because it has such a wide variety of, I'd say, games that aren't really like mainstream friendly games, but they can still be seen as really great games depending on your tastes. So like Star Control 2 is an awesome like sandbox like strategy adventure game. You know, it's awesome. It's often touted as one of like the best games in the system, but it's not a game that's going to appeal to everybody. Not everybody wants to play that kind of game. It's not like, oh, I don't know. It's got some well-renowned racing games like the Need for Speed. Started off on the 3DO, and the original Need for Speed, if you're into simulation racers, is really good, but if you're not into simulation racers, you might not like it that much. Road Rash is another good one that's often touted, and maybe you don't want to race a game with a combat, but Road Rash has it. Road Rash is still really fun though, so that would be a really great game. Wolfenstein 3D, excellent port, super fun to play. But not everybody likes first-person shooters, you know, like Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, awesome port. It's got some more obscure stuff too, you know, like Slayer, you know, Western-style dungeon crawler RPG, first-person, runs at a wonky frame rate. Some people would say that's really great, others would be like, oh, it sucks. I mean, it really depends on your tastes. 3DO is an interesting platform. But if you're thinking about getting into the one, you really need to do your research on it, because it's got quite a wide variety of games, most at varying levels of quality. But it's an enjoyable system. I like the 3DO a lot. Hey, see a stock lock. But yeah, I mean, it all depends on your taste, especially when it comes to 3DO. I mean, like I said, the 3DO has a lot of stuff that might not be considered mainstream. It also has a lot of stuff that is kind of poorly optimized. You know, doesn't. A lot of its games don't run at the smoothest frame rates, even the 2D stuff. Much of the 2D stuff. You know, like Samurai Showdown is one that's often touted as being a fantastic fighting game for the system. And for the time, I could see it being an amazing port. But it runs at, like, the frame rate is, like, half as much as it is in the Neo Geo version. Maybe more. Like, it might be worse than that. So what's the point in going back to the 3DO one today when you can just play, you know, one of the many ports of the original Samurai Showdown? Or if you're like me and you have a Neo Geo CD or Neo Geo, then why play the 3DO one? There isn't really much of a reason. So, but there's also a lot of stuff that's not, you know, doesn't have a lot of 2D platformers, doesn't have really any shoot-'em-ups outside of one or two really obscure ones that aren't, you know, not all that great to begin with. So it's got a lot of like adventure simulations type of games, you know, stuff like Shockwave and whatever. Not really my cup of tea. But there is still enough stuff on there, you know, there's a lot of quirky stuff. Like, there's still enough stuff on it to warrant owning one for me. And, you know, Icebreaker, for instance, is a puzzle game that's kind of action-oriented at the same time. Very unique. It was only ever available elsewhere on Windows 95. You know, again, I mentioned the Wolfenstein 3D. That's one of the big reasons for me having a 3DO. But Gex is fun, you know, but you can get a better version on the PlayStation. You know, I do like the first Need for Speed. Not usually in the simulation-style racers, but it is still more of a driving game. You're just kind of like driving down a road, and that's basically the whole game. You're not really racing. I enjoy Primal Rage on the 3DO because I'm a fan of Primal Rage. I did a Let's Play of it many years ago. Super Street Fighter 2 is awesome on 3DO. Really enjoy that. It doesn't have much in the way of like really awesome platformers. Like, I'd say Gex is pretty much like the only one. You've got Johnny Bazooka Tone. It sucks. You've got Phoenix 3. Is it 3 or is it 7? I always forget. It sucks. You do have Flashback. Flashback's great on 3DO. But I'd still rather play the Sega CD one because it's got in-game music. Out of This World is really cool. I do like Alone in the Dark, although it's better for me to just play the PC version now. The Horde, that's a fun game. So is Captain Quasar, yeah. Bergier it is. There's a lot of interesting stuff to discover on it. So it's a fun system to mess around with and, you know, try to figure out what's up with the system. Alright, how do I want to do this? Hand or armor? Yes, there are lots of really, really awful games on 3DO. 3DO had, there was pretty much no quality control on the system. And the licensing fees to develop on 3DO were super cheap. So you had a lot of people developing on it that had like no industry experience. You know, they were making their first games on the 3DO. You know, like Naughty Dog, for instance. Naughty Dog, actually, their 3DO games weren't their 3DO game wasn't their first, but you know, they were still just like budding kids. Trying to get somewhere in the games industry. I think they had published some computer games through Electronic Arts before that. But the 3DO, I think, was like, they were still very, very young in their development days. So you saw companies like that, and now they're huge. They had their humble beginnings back in the 16-bit days, then made Way of the Warrior on 3DO. And there was a lot of stuff on 3DO that's just like really, really awful. A lot of really crap games made it through. And it actually sucks because there's a lot of cool games, or a lot of games with really cool potential, or really good potential, like Mazer by American Laser Games is a cool looking game, but then you play it and it runs at like 5 frames a second, and you're like, wow, this kind of sucks. And it's basically like an arcade-style top-down action game made by a company that was mainly known for arcade games. So it had an arcade vibe to it. Kind of like you were playing a Midway-developed arcade game from the time. I mean, hell, it might have been originally, started as an arcade game for all I know. And then moved over to 3DO. It's got that style to it. But because of the frame rate and performance issues, it's no fun to play. Like, at all. There's a lot of stuff like that on 3DO. Johnny Bazooka Tone actually looks decent in screenshots, and then you play it, and the frame rate is so bad that you just feel like you're wasting your time trying to experience the game. Gex, stuff by Crystal Dynamics, well, I don't know. I feel like some of the 3DO's Crystal Dynamics games are a little overrated. Like, I wasn't personally a fan of like Total Eclipse, and Crash and Burn is kind of like, it would have been amazing in '93, but it's kind of hard to play now. But Gex is great. I mean, that was Crystal Dynamics, and The Horde is a fun game. Samurai Showdown is still a decent port, even though it's kind of redundant today. And then Star Control 2 is a fantastic port because it has extra stuff that's not even in the computer version, like a completely brand new soundtrack that's awesome. And Balls the Director's Cut. See, that's another one I have like a love-hate relationship with. Like, it also has performance issues. Like, it runs way too fast. It's so hard to play because of that. But it is quirky. It's got its own charm. It's got a cool soundtrack. And it's definitely better than the 16-bit versions. That's for sure. So I have no idea if it's possible to beat the T-Rex. I was never able to get very far in Balls on 3DO. I want to give it another shot, play it on stream, and try to dedicate more time to it and see if I can, get somewhere in that game. I've played it a lot, though, over the years. I've revisited it quite frequently just because From a gameplay perspective, I've never been able to do much with it, but I've always enjoyed, like, the visual style of the 3DO version, and, you know, just, like, the comedic value. It's definitely a game that doesn't take itself seriously, and it's kind of cool for that. So I can respect a game like that. It might not be that much fun to play, but sometimes it's just fun to look at and experience, regardless. Ronnie, how far did you ever get in Balls on 3DO? I know you don't typically, like, play games from start to finish and, like, complete them, but I'm just curious how far you got in that game. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and use that. So this final boss is a boss I think you only fight, you might only fight him if you have everything. I don't remember what the stipulations and requirements were to fight this guy. But it is possible for the game to end right after you fight the guy before him. And what's really cool about the game is it has a lot of different endings actually, based on, you know, when you complete the game, what items you have, what bosses you've defeated, things like that. I mean, there's a way to where, like, you can get the final area unlocked, like, almost right away and beat the game way earlier than you're supposed to, but you don't see any, like, these bigger final bosses or anything, so... Almost there. He's pretty much red. That's it. Hey, Wayne, how you doing tonight, dude? Major Havoc, I'm probably gonna go on Twitch later tonight, actually. When I'm done with my YouTube stream, I'll probably fire up a Twitch stream. Because I need to practice for some more Let's Plays, and I plan on doing some PS1 fighting games, and so I might bring out the PS1 after I'm done here, and then start streaming on Twitch. But yeah, I typically stream Friday and Saturday nights on Twitch pretty much every weekend, so... And Tony, yeah, that boss is tough. So, just a heads up, guys, we're not done quite yet. It's going to give us a password after the ending. And that's going to allow us to fight the true final boss, which is even harder. So I have a video of that actually. If you want to see the dedicated video of both my Let's Play for this and the true final boss, I have them in the cards section in the top right. If you just move your mouse to the top right, that'll display the card section, and you can get links to those Let's Plays. Alright, so I'm going to step away for a quick minute, and we'll just let the ending roll out, and then once it gives us the password, I'll make a snapshot with my phone, and we'll reset. Alright. I like it when games have long endings. It makes me feel accomplished. And yeah, they're just like showing off enemies and whatever, but the back-end tune is great. Highly memorable ending tune. Jesus, I can't talk right now. Ugh, I'm a little cold actually. Put a jacket on. Oh, that's better. So yeah, we'll try to fire up the Game Boy and NES versions sometime. Tuna. That was just slightly random, Miku. Oh, maybe you meant the boss on screen. Never mind. Yeah. Final Fantasy VI does have a long ending. It's great. That's what I want to see from an RPG that takes me, you know, 30 to 60 hours to get through. I want to see a long ending like that. All right. Oh, silly game, it's not the end. It is only the beginning. We have to let it sit for a little bit. Tony, there is, yes. And I don't really think it's not really much different from the ending we just saw, but you do have to fight a different final boss, and I'll show you in just a minute. There we go. Whew. Just got 2 more sales from my Atari Age thread. Having to downsize some of the last of my physical games because of money issues. Which is sad, but I can still play most of the games I'm selling on flashcards. The big loss is selling my PS1 games because I don't have a way of playing those without the original discs. Well, yes and no, encrypted printer. Yes, in that we pretty much just beat the game. No, in that we pretty much just beat the game and the stream's almost over. You often mistake this for a Castlevania game. Nice. Alright, so it's gonna be Q. And then Q. R. And then it's gonna be L. And then lastly, good Q. Yeah, it didn't even sound like what I'm typing in. XGTQ. Alright. Hey, no problem, encrypted. Yeah, the live archive will be there. Actually, it should be there right as I finish. And then I also have links to the Let's Plays and so forth from about 8 months ago if you guys want to check those out. Alright, so we need to grind out for for health potions, because this last final boss is stupid hard. But we've got the ultimate gargoyle. Check this bad boy out. He can fly around. He can lunge, or not lunge, but dash on the ground. He is magnificent. Wayne, I would guess quite a few people. But I know we did it back in the day. We had a tendency of letting our endings sit, and so, you know, we got the password. Average time to complete the game, if you're trying to just like run through it and, I mean, still get everything, but do it quickly and efficiently, I mean, you're probably looking at 2.5 hours. So it's definitely a game that can be done in one sitting. Your first playthrough, you're probably not going to get through it in one sitting, because there's a lot of different little, you know, forks in the road that you can go to, lots of little unlockables, hidden items, and whatnot. $345. We still need more money. No, Ronnie. Ghouls and Ghosts and Goblins pretty much tells you blatantly, like, to get the true ending, you have to go through it again. People that would have gotten to that point would have realized that, but the thing is, with Ghosts and Goblins, I highly doubt many people even beat the first loop. Dude, I don't even think I've beaten the first loop on the NES Ghosts and Goblins. I need to try sometime soon. I have to wait until I get my AVS back. Ghosts and broken controllers and windows and consoles and TVs and cats. Broken arms, broken faces. If humanity ever destroys itself, we can probably link it back to Ghosts and Goblins eventually. Hey Jeff, how are you doing, man? Yeah, so just a heads up, people, this stream will be over soon. But I will be continuing to stream over on Twitch, because there's a bunch of PS1 fighting games I need to practice. So we just beat Demon's Crest, but we got the secret password to get to the true final boss. And so that's what we're doing right now. We're building some cash for these ginsengs. And that's pretty much it. We got them, and now we can go to the real final boss, aka Hell itself. Because it sure feels like it when you're fighting this guy. Right on, Jeff. Well, thanks for stopping in regardless, man. Always good to see you here. Alright, so the real final boss is in this area, I believe. Wait, no. I'm pretty sure a new thing actually appears on the map, so I'm dumb. Never mind. Yeah, actually, I think a new place appears in the map, now that I think about it. I always get confused when I do this. So we'll go ahead and just get to the end quickly. Yeah, doesn't like everything have ginseng in it now? Or maybe it's just something that does wonders for demons and not humans. Yeah, thanks, Ronnie. I did indeed beat Zol 2, this time without a hammer. Oh, dude, I can fight all the bosses again. I want to do that. I forgot which one, like, I thought one of these makes you stronger. New Game Plus. How quickly can you wreck all the bosses? That makes me wonder, are all the bosses coming back? Do 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 do. Toilet paper with ginseng. Coming to a Dollar General near you. Two hits? Wow. Wow. That's insane. Do a little dance. Demon's Crest, P-Wing edition. Come to think of it, I've never tried going through the game again with the ultimate form. He looks like he's pumping iron without actual weights being there. Pumps the iron. Like if you flip him around and like draw in some barbells, it would look totally natural. Oh wow, he's even here. Okay. That's interesting. Dude, you know I did just actually destroy your ass like 5 times in a row. That's why I'm here again. It's funny, it lets you actually fight this guy too. So I'm guessing if I wanted to, I could go back and fight the final boss again. Demonic Schwarzenegger. Interesting. Was that 2 hits as well? You know, I guess we really don't need to go and fight all the bosses again. I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen. Okay, is it that one? Or is it that one? It's this one. So this is the true final boss. Firebrand does look like he's got some buck teeth, I will say. There aren't enough pixels to do justice to his mouth area. Okay, so this is it. This is a major pain of a fight. Yeah, Wayne, I've never actually played through the original Gargoyles quest, so I mean, if this guy was if this guy's basically like a modification or a throwback to an enemy from that game, that's really cool. I like it when games, you know, refer to the previous entries, add some form of continuity, as well as like fan service. God, this dude is such a pain. Dodge projectiles like it's a shmup. Except you don't have the mobility of a ship in a shmup. And your sprite is massive. Hey, cat. Other cat. We've got a K with a K and a C with a C. Or cat with a K and cat with a C. Wow. That went faster than expected. Fled 1, I would say this is a lot better than Gargoyle's Quest 2. I personally enjoy it a lot more. It's faster, it's better looking, it sounds better. Whole lot less talking to people. I mean, they're all good games based on what I played, but this is easily my favorite. So... yeah, so this boss I just fought, for anybody just tuning in, was the true final boss. You have to beat the game normally, get every item, defeat the final boss, and then you get a password at the end of the ending. The end of the credits. And you punch that password in, then you get to play... you get to go back into the game, but there's a new area that opens up in your map. And you get the ultimate gargoyle form, which is this purple gargoyle. He's pretty much got all the abilities of the other gargoyles combined into one, and he's super powerful. Man, now I just want to play through the game again. Can we extend this stream by 3 hours? It took me 3 hours to get through everything in the game. Taking my time at parts, though. Tony says, do it, please. Alright. Yeah, so I just went to my other room, brought out the PS2. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a quick break. Once we're done, I'm going to stop the stream, then I'm going to fire up a stream on Twitch. I'm going to switch it over to some PS1 stuff I want to practice for Let's Plays. Any chance I'll run Maximo, Meowximo, Ghost to Glory? Probably not. I've never finished the game before. It's a really difficult game, and it's decently in length, so I do want to finish it on stream sometime, but I've never done it. Well, I tried once, like a year ago. Encrypted Printer, I hope to see you on the Twitch lands. In the Twitch lands. Across the Twitch lands! I don't know. I don't know how to say that. Well, Ronnie does feel at home at Twitch, so it must actually be hell over there. Because, you know, Ronnie is Satan and all. Shh! Don't tell anybody! Yeah, those like little clown jester dudes, it seems the best course of action is just to jump over them. I kept making the same mistake. I would just fire at them and then they would roll. Encrypted Printer, I mean, that's not my username on Twitch. It's, yeah, let me make it an actual link. Ugh. Yeah, so for anybody watching in the chat, if you've never gone to Twitch before, you can click that link. Feel free to sign up for an account. It's free, just like a YouTube account, and you don't even have to sign up. If you don't want to chat, you can just watch. If you would like to chat, then sign up for an account, and then you can chat. So, we are, Wayne. Yeah, when the stream is done, once the ending's, you know, over and all the questions and whatever are through, I'm gonna hit stop on this stream, take about a 5-10 minute break, eat some pizza, and then just gonna start streaming again on Twitch. So, and we're gonna be doing. This is gonna be interesting. Oh crap, I have to bring my Japanese system out here. Shoot. I forgot like half these PS1 games I have in my hands are Japanese ones. Street Fighter 03, Guilty Gear, Tekken 3, Battle Arena Toshinden, Criticom, ugh, and Zero Divide. I want to practice these, see if I can do Let's Plays of them. Mainly because fighting games are kind of quick and easy, and it's a way for me to pound out a bunch of Let's Plays, but I'm also trying to sell them. I'd like to make use of them before I sell them, you know what I mean? The purpose of buying them was to do playthroughs eventually, but... Oh yeah, that's what you get for the special ending. That's cool. I totally forgot about that. Everybody knows Ronnie's the devil. Wow, Galaga 88 arcade machine, David. That's awesome, man. I'd imagine those aren't too common. I've never personally seen a Galaga 88 in person, so that's really cool, man. Tony, Twitch is, I have it set to indicated for mature audiences because, especially when I'm drinking. I don't ever drink and stream on YouTube, but if I drink and stream on Twitch, I start cursing like a sailor. So I also get really angry at some games I'm practicing, and I may curse like a sailor there too. So I try to cut myself off from cursing a lot of the time, but sometimes I just... Ronnie and Wayne will tell you I probably drop more F-bombs than actual normal words sometimes. So I don't think that's going to be the case tonight. I don't have any beer on me, and I don't think I'm playing any games that are too difficult. So, well, Criticom's going to be interesting. I wish I had some beer for that, but it just hit midnight, so I can't go buy any. I know, right, Wayne? It's kind of hypocritical, isn't it? And that's the end of the game, and thus the end of the stream. Hot Pockets! Awesome, Tony. KMac09 is now following me. Who is that? It's got to be one of you guys out there. By buy some, you mean go steal some for me? My cat just like walks into 7-Eleven and then just grabs a 6-pack and walks back out. Yeah, I need to go get my Japanese PS2. I'll just do that on my break. I forgot half these games are Japanese. I mean, Street Fighter 03 I don't even need to practice, but I want to anyway. Oh, well, what a stream. That was fun, guys. So this is the format that's going to be on YouTube pretty frequently. We're going to have the big streams, you know, with tons of games on a single platform, kind of like the Game Boy Advance streams and Genesis streams and whatever. But we're also going to have single game-focused streams as well. Or maybe like 2-game streams or 3-game streams, depending on like how long the games are. So... Miku, you followed me over at Twitch. Thank you very much. See, I get notifications through my email whenever somebody follows me on Twitch. So thanks, guys. I appreciate it. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this format. You can catch me next Thursday at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Hey, Mike Valgalder, you did miss it. And by the way, thanks for sending me that payment for those Castlevania games. I'm gonna ship them out tomorrow, so I'll give you a tracking number once I do that. So yeah, any questions or comments before I head it out? I know some of you guys aren't gonna follow me over to Twitch, and that's totally cool. And but I could totally stick around, answer any questions or anything that you guys might have before I stop the stream. Yeah, the reason this shorter format's good, where I can focus on a single game, is that I would often use Thursdays, alternating Thursdays, where I wasn't streaming on YouTube, to practice games for Let's Plays. And since I'm going to be streaming every Thursday on YouTube, it's going to be harder to do that. So having these streams where I wake up and just stream for 2 or 3 hours, that'll give me a lot of time left over after the stream to just continue practicing games for Let's Plays. So what do I have left I am selling? I will shoot you a link, Tony. Yeah, just give me a minute and I'll find that link for you guys if you guys want to check it out. But yeah, while I'm looking for that link, if anybody else has any questions or whatever, feel free to ask away. Came upon your channel because I was looking for a game I played when I was little. The Adventures of Batman and Robin. Okay. It was great. So many memories. Awesome, Carthos. Well, thanks for checking it out. I'm glad you enjoyed that. A lot of people stumble upon my videos because of, you know, they're looking for that game they played when they were younger, and they just happen to stumble upon my Let's Play. So that's really cool. It's awesome to hear about experiences like that, and that you guys were able to find or enjoy my playthrough. You were able to reminisce. All right. So here's my for sale thread on Atari Age. I don't have pictures for most of the stuff because I'm busy. I'm streaming right now. But over the next couple of days, I'm going to try to get some photos up. I've sold a bunch, actually. So, yeah, and Adventures of Batman and Robin is awesome. It's a fantastic game. I love playing that game. So, we'll probably do a stream again where I play through it again. That'll be like the 4th time I've played through it on this channel. But we'll see. Yeah, Ronnie, I don't use the skunk board very often, and there's a guy that's working on an SD-based flash card, and I'd much rather have that. So I'm like, you know, if I can sell the skunk board right now and get money for it while it's still worth something, then I'd rather do that. And can I sign games you buy from me? I mean, absolutely, if you want me to. I think it would kind of kill the collectability of them, but but sure, why not? I don't even I have a crappy signature. I don't even know. I don't even think you'd want me to sign it. Yeah, it really is, Ronnie. And the skunk board is primitive. I mean, you have to hook it up. You have the command prompts, a flash command line. It takes several moments to flash. It can only hold like 2 games at a time. I've never even gotten the multi-game function to work properly, actually. So like I just, you know, flash a new ROM to it every time. Not every game works on it without patching and stuff like it works for some people. It doesn't really work for me. It's inconvenient enough to where I don't want to play the Jaguar because of it. Whereas if I had an EverDrive type solution, I would probably play the Jaguar on stream way more often. But streaming the Jaguar now pretty much requires me to have it linked to my desktop. It has to be close to me because it has to connect to the computer. And every time I switch games, I have to command line in. It's just a pain. So Tony, I mean, if you're interested in anything, I would sign up at Atari Age and message me there. That's the easiest way to keep track of this stuff for me because I get email notifications and whatever. Um, I don't really. Yeah, I would do that. Sign up for an Atari Age account and then communicate with me through there. That would be the easiest. And then if you buy something, I can start a feedback thread for you, and you can try to buy stuff from there more often. It's a great place to get cheap games, basically. You know, you usually don't have people selling stuff at eBay prices for the most part. You can get lots of really good deals. So it would be like a win-win for you. I'm not saying buy my game, but I mean, if you really, really want Steel Empire, then I have to take a look at it and see it. It's in really crappy condition, and I remember having to clean it a lot to get it to work. It does work. I did get it to run, and I finished it. But yeah, sign up and then just shoot me a private message on that forum. But yeah, it seems like that's pretty much it, guys. I don't really see any other major questions or comments or anything, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. It's been almost 3.5 hours now. Yeah, right on, Tony. Yeah, just think about it, and whatever you think you might want, just shoot me a message and with all the stuff you want, and I'll work out, you know, shipping and stuff like that. But again, here's my Twitch account, guys. Like I said, I'm going to go ahead and start streaming over there in about 5 or 10 minutes. So if you guys want to hang out in the chat, I'll just fire up the chat right away and let you guys know I'm there. And for anybody that's not, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. It's always good hanging out with you guys, which is why I want to do this on a weekly basis now on YouTube. It's just fun chatting with you all on Thursday nights. It's a good way for me to relax. I have to work Sunday through Thursday morning, and so Thursday night when I wake up is just kind of my first day off each week, and it's good to just kick back and relax, play some games, and talk with you guys. So thanks again, anybody watching after the fact. Thank you too for checking out this archive, and for anybody interested, you can also click in the top right hand portion on the YouTube card section, and you can check out links to my original Let's Plays of this game. If you just want to skip to like the true final boss or see a slightly better run of the game where I go through it a little bit faster, you can check that out too. So, alright guys, I'll see you next Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. For anybody that wants to keep watching me right now, go over to Twitch. I'll post the link one more time, and you know, you can just lurk if you don't want to chat, or you can sign up for an account if you don't have one, and then you can log into the chat and actually interact still over there. So, this stream should be published immediately because it's under 4 hours long. So for anybody that's watching and wants to go watch the past broadcasts of this, it should be up immediately once I'm done. So no problem, Miku. Thank you. And thanks to everybody else as well. So, all right, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon, hopefully next Thursday.